And good morning. It is Wednesday, almost said Monday. Wednesday, August 30th, 2017. This is the Bitter Knitters podcast. I'm Jacqueline. I'm here joined by Arthur.
Hello.
And Ryan.
I'm in the public. Hello.
out in the outside.
It sounds better when you say the public. Like you make yourself sound super important. I'm the public.
Well, it's the end of August, which means school has gone back in some places in the U.S. and school starts on Tuesday here in my area of Canada. I can't wait. I'll be devastated if I can't get my son back. I want my son to go for one more semester or a year for high school.
Mm-hmm.
But I was reading they only want to give you 34 credit. Like they only want to pay for 34 credits, and he has 30. So I'm like, frick, man, they better let him back in for those 4 credits or I'll be crushed.
Well, but
I
at
have to
least
deal with
maybe
him
they'll
every day.
give him what do you call that? Like a fixed schedule where it's, maybe just half the day or whatever, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what I'm going to do with this kid. He can't, I want to send him to trade school, but he can't go to trade school because it starts January 2nd, but he needs math, and the math won't be finished until February, so I can't get him into trade school in the spring anyway. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this kid. And night school is the same thing. I was like, I'll put him in night school. In night school, you can't pick up your certificate to January 30th. So he ain't going to trade school in January. So we'll see. Kids.
Yeah.
But Ryan mentioned it was cold.
It's actually
cold in New York City.
It's cold now in New York. Not super cold, but it's like that springy weather. You know what I mean?
It's chilly fall.
It's chilly weather, yeah. Yesterday
when you wake up and it's starting to get cool.
It was super cold. Yesterday, actually, it's going to be, I think, below 50.
Tomorrow,
not below 50, but it's like 55. Yeah, tomorrow. Sorry, rather. It's going to be like 50-something degrees. And I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. It's pretty cold because it's only the first day of September. Typically, we don't get this kind of weather until, late October?
Yeah, it depends.
Give or take.
I heard it wasn't going to be a long, warm fall here, so I guess we'll see.
Global warming's not real.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go. We're talking about global warming. Let's talk about Hurricane Harvey.
Yeah.
So we already talked about that the other day. Everybody knows. I think nobody in the world is unaware of Hurricane Harvey at this point. But there's a couple stories that came out besides, people helping and rescuing and taking and, people seeking refuge. Some of the dirtbag stories that really disgusted me. And I mean, this isn't unusual. We're talking about people that will always try to make more money than they can, but price gouging.
Mm-hmm.
There was now Best Buy claims it was an accident, but there were pictures of one of the stores in Texas, I guess close to Houston, Cypress, or it's a suburb, charging $29 for a case of Smart Water and like $42 for a case of that freaking disgusting Dasani water. I wouldn't even pay 42 cents. What the frick? I'd rather drink the water flooding. But they claim it was just because an employee didn't understand how cases work and charged, 24 times
bottle,
whatever the base bottle. Yeah. Do you believe it?
I'm sure it was a Freudian slip. I'm sure it was.
Yeah. Yeah. And then some gas stations were charging like $10 or $20 a gallon for gas.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah.
That's not, gas prices have not reached that price quite
No,
yet,
and they're going to go up because of Hurricane Harvey, but not that much.
Yeah, it's not 10, 20 fucking dollars. You know what? There should be a federal law passed for stuff like that. Because
there is, and you get a huge
Oh.
fine in Texas. I think I read $65,000.
Absolutely. I think it needs to be $1 million. Honest to God.
You're taking advantage. And I think when you're a senior or like if you price gouge a senior, the fine goes up even more, like drastically.
There are people who literally probably needed those things. Not everybody. First of all, number one, not everybody has the money to be able to spend $36 for a case of water. Like what?
Yeah, $42. Yeah,
that's like $5 at BJ's. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And then you have this freaking. I'm sure you guys saw this story. This Pastor Joel Osteen. This freaking shill. I can't stand these kind of. Okay, here's my thing about this. If your pastor wears a Rolex and an Armani suit, you're being fucked over.
Yeah.
Okay? That's just rule one. This guy has a 16,000 seat auditorium where the Sonics used to play, And, you know, oh, no one could get in. We would have opened our doors. They only opened the doors when they were, you know, publicly shamed. Freaking. And then I see his followers are saying how people are donating to him and to his charity or to his church now to help all the people coming in. So let's make him richer. The guy's worth $50 million, and he needs donations to help these people.
Probably even more.
Yeah.
Than that.
Well, there's no taxes on these churches, right?
Yeah.
I can't stand these people. Don't follow if your preacher wants a private jet and drives a Rolls Royce, you're being fucked. Okay.
Yeah. I thought Jesus was supposed to supply all that shit for them.
Yeah.
They were just supposed to pray and then get their G5 jet.
Oh God, it's crazy. And then the horrors of it. I mean, besides your house is flooded, you're in danger, people have died. While you're trying to escape for your life, you not only have to look out for snakes and alligators or crocodiles, whichever's down there, and, you know, other animals fleeing for their life. You have floating piles of fire ants floating around.
Oh God, that's fun.
It's like literally a huge, like the whole colonies have come up and they're just on top of each other.
That's exciting.
And they're floating. And if they get you, they of course crawl all over you because they're trying to live and they bite you.
And
to
those
death.
little shits are fucking survivors.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at this pile and I'm like, Jesus Christ, just die.
Yeah, like those things are fucking survivors. They're like cockroaches. They will survive.
Yeah. And I mean, if you're allergic, that's it. You're fucked. You probably don't have your EpiPen with you in Hurricane Harvey.
Yeah. Well, you know, the tragedy of it all with Hurricane Harvey is that it seemed like we were so unprepared. Like we should have never had the kind of reaction we had with Hurricane Katrina, right?
Yeah.
But it seems like that's the kind of reaction we're having now. And it's like, how is this remotely possible? Like, how is this happening? We should have had...
Well, what could they have done?
Exactly.
I mean, well, we could have... I'm not saying we could have done... We could have done more. But you don't just wish somebody good luck. Not to bring up the past.
No, I agree. You don't just wish good luck.
Wish somebody good luck. You know, we could have fucking sent the boats over there, fucking boats or something. You know what I mean?
I think this is going to teach people living along anywhere near the hurricane places that maybe they want to invest in at least a rubber raft, something. So when shit gets real, you can float away somewhere at least.
It's just so sad though that people don't think about where they live, or you know, like how that's going to affect them. You know what I mean? Like how the weather can.
You just hope and pray. And I mean, sometimes you can't afford to move out of state or out of city, or
of course. Well, maybe because it's the cost of living is much cheaper in that area in Texas. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, are you really going to want to live in Houston when you can live in, you know, whatever part in Texas, and it's much cheaper to be outside of the cities, right?
Yeah, and maybe I don't know. Is it cheaper to live in these places like Tornado Alley?
It absolutely is.
Yeah,
it really is, and it's why you get a lot of like the trailer parks and stuff like that through Tornado Alley because you know it's all low income. My thing with this Hurricane Harvey, though, and I don't think a lot of people are really focusing on it, is the looting and the fact that the gangs in Houston are actually trying to kind of take over. They had a fairly...
I haven't seen anything about that.
There's a bit of it. Like, I mean, unfortunately, you do have to go to some of those right-wing rags to see it, right? So, you know them and their validation.
Of
right,
course.
But Katrina was kind of like a training manual for these guys, right? Like they seen how easy it was that once you get the majority of the population of how you can go and you can loot and you can start taking chunks of land for yourself. And I have a feeling that Houston's going to go through a little bit of this.
It's gonna be scary.
Yeah, it is, and I mean it's not to talk shit about Houston, but from what I've heard, it's not the easiest place to live in the first place.
Yeah. Like, I can't fault, like, when I watch the pictures of Hurricane Katrina and the people looting, I never really blamed them in the most, like, when you were getting diapers and formula. I mean, if you were taking a TV, you're an idiot.
See,
but the people that were taking food and supplies, I never felt that they were doing a crime. I think they were just trying to survive.
I saw one video of looting in Houston, and it was a group of, I think, like 6 guys, and they were coming out of a Walmart or some big box store, and they only had TVs. Big giant TVs, like that's what you're going for.
They sell afterward, right?
Like it's a shame I've even seen some pretty horrible tweets about it. People saying, you know, it's okay to loot as long as you're looting Trump supporters' businesses and stuff like that.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, it's
not. It's never okay to loot. Like I said, other than if you're trying literally to survive. If you're getting food for your baby, I'm never going to say that's a crime. But you come out with a freaking car stereo and some beef.
Right?
Yeah.
You're an idiot.
If you're going to loot a Birkin, that's okay.
That's something to survive, right, Ryan?
That's what I would do. I'd be like, if it was happening in New York City, and let's say you guys were visiting, I'd be like, guys, let's go to Hermenes.
Yeah, I'm sure that would be on the top priority for Arthur.
Oh yeah, definitely. Love.
He's like, let's get out of this fucking town.
Yeah.
But here's another thing: is they're saying that up to possibly 500,000 cars, and trucks. And vehicles will be flooded and damaged and unusable afterward.
Yes.
That's a lot of cars. And they were saying that there had just been an upturn in sales. They'd had a record of 300,000 cars sold in Houston.
Well,
and now you've got... Well, if you can afford it after your flood
insurance companies, I was going to say. So you are probably insured, and the insurance companies are going to...
But you're probably not going to get the value of your car, right? Unless you have a brand new car. You always just get that small little piece of it. But who's to see? It is illegal to resell these cars afterward, of course.
Yes.
Yes.
So people in that area definitely need to be on the lookout that their car has not been.
I kind of wonder what ends up happening to those cars, though. Like, what
they're supposed to be scrapped. They're supposed to be, take the pieces that you can reuse and scrap the rest. I don't know, but yeah, and it's coming back. Right? So it went out to sea a bit, and it's coming back to hit them again, and it's hitting Western Louisiana now as well. So good luck, people. Good luck. I hate to say just good luck.
Be safe.
If you have some money and you can afford it, don't donate to the Red Cross. Donate to some of these other groups that are...
Yes. Like $1 really does help. All right.
Can you trust that those funds are going to go to where they need to go to? Like, I'm always so worried about that. I'm always so just tripped out by the fact of, like, once that money's out of my hands, where does it actually go?
Well, it helps fuel the plane or the jet or whatever to take it to where it needs to go. And then, I don't know if the volunteers get paid necessarily, but then, they probably buy supplies and stuff. So I think that everybody kind of has what do you call that? Like a hand in it. Everybody gets some sort of part of it. So probably about 30% of it, I'm not going to lie, is probably going to be used up on getting the supplies itself. And then the 70% probably used on rebuilding or their efforts to help, I would assume.
Huh. I don't know. I've just always wondered about that.
Well, like,
that's why I don't really trust a lot of the charities, right? Because it's...
Yes. That's why I agree with you. Like, I don't always go with the big names. I always go with, like, maybe something a little bit more local. And I donate efforts to that.
Yeah.
Like, that's definitely what I do. Because sometimes, like, when you go to, like, a restaurant or whatever, and they have those little tip jars for, it's like, I'm not going to name any, I was about to name one. I'm not going to name any people, but I don't. Because to me, it's like, well, that's kind of a little shoddy. Like, you just have a little tip jar there. Like, does that ever really reach the place it needs to go to?
Yeah. I know of one that does, the only one that I donate those little change things, and it is the Tim Hortons camp one.
Yeah.
And the only reason,
that's a big help.
The only reason why I do that is because I watched that one. Like, my one uncle got to go to that for free. Everything was comped, you know what I mean? So, like, right there, I was like, oh, this money actually goes.
Yeah. Both my kids went to Tim Hortons camp, and so did my nephew Lucas went to Tim Hortons camp, and he actually went to one in Quebec on a plane. Lucas did, so.
Huh, nice.
Yeah. You know what? The other one, I'm not trying to promote my work, but PC Children's Charity that my work works with.
Yeah.
100% of that goes to the charities, according to the information they sent me, to help disabled kids and stuff.
The other thing that I know, and I hope that you guys don't make fun of me for saying it because it's a little vain, but the MAC, the certain lipstick, I forget the name, the certain lipstick from MAC, 100% of that is going to AIDS funds.
Yes.
So it's legit. That's super legit. I used to work for them. It is super legit.
Nice.
Yeah, do your research. A lot of the ones that you think you're donating. I mean, I was reading a lot of the cancer fund money that people give. Doesn't even get to cancer research.
Yeah. Only 33 cents goes out of $1. So I would imagine if you donate $33,000. They're probably only getting like 1,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
My math is bad, but you know what I mean.
No, yeah, my math is also horrible.
Because these people have employees. These people have, you know what I mean. And so,
well, and if you see a CEO or the guy who's running it is getting like a $500,000 salary, you might not want to go with them.
Yes.
But that's the thing with the whole cancer one, though, is like, you know, you're not dealing with just like volunteers. These are highly trained fucking doctors and scientists. They deserve a fucking wage. Like, even if it is coming out of these donations, like, unfortunately, they definitely deserve a decent wage.
Well, that's why I count their wages as the research.
Yeah.
Because they're spending their time. It's not just money for supplies. You're talking about actual scientists and doctors.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
But, like, you know, like the CEO who runs freaking, I don't know, I'm just trying to think of something off the top of my head. Some sort of, you know, cancer hospital or whatever, and they make all this money.
Maybe?
I don't know about St. Jude's. I heard good things about them, but I don't know, personally. But
remember, we all know about the Sally Struthers situation that happened years ago.
Oh, where she ate all the food?
Yeah, not just that, but supposedly there was a case that was going to be put against her, but I don't think it ever went through. That the donations.
A lot of the money didn't go to Africa. Yeah. Well, that's the problem with a lot of these charities, especially when they're going to some of these third world countries where they have, you know, corrupt leaders. They don't let that stuff get even to their people.
Like in remember there was a big hurricane in the Philippines, Typhoon Haiyan, as it was referred to in the United States, but it was called Yolanda in the Philippines. And, you know, people donated clothes. Like, people were like, you know, what ended up happening with a lot of those clothes, they have these stores called Uka or Uka. I don't know what it's called. I don't speak that language much. But they were getting resold. And so the people who were actually looking for the donations never got the donations. You know what I mean? And so in these corrupt countries, absolutely this happens. You know what I mean? So you have to be, like we all said, we have to be careful about where we're sending to. I'd rather send cash, if that's the case. Imagine sending Ferragamo shoes and they end up getting resold anyway. No.
Yes, because some guy walking around the outskirts of frickin'
Manila.
Yeah, sure, Manila needs Ferragamo shoes.
Well, they have to. Jacqueline, it was old. What am I supposed to donate?
You don't want to look good during a disaster?
Like, exactly.
I mean, I guess. I guess. I mean, if I'm going to be on TV and I'm being rescued and I'm looking hideous, at least my shoes will look amazing.
Yeah, right? Like, even Dorothy had ruby slippers when the tornado came and got her ass. Like, come on. Fuck.
Ruby red. Crystals.
It's just
I
crazy.
love those shoes.
And I love how that's always people's, like, first instinct, though. Like, something goes down, let's go steal a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy to me.
Well, I remember back when the LA riots happened after the Rodney King verdict, and people in Toronto decided that they, you know, young kids, young men, decided they were going to start a riot too. But of course, it was literally just to loot. So they were, you know, they were in downtown Toronto smashing stores and stealing shit. And it was just like so pathetic.
Yeah, no,
because you know they did not care about what happened with Rodney King.
And I'm sorry, like, there's no claim to that here. Like, there's no history of that type of injustice. You don't have that right, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
But
no, that was crazy.
Yeah. Huh.
So let's talk about, this is my favorite story of the day that I saw. I came across this. This is from a website called Information Nigeria.
Oh my God.
So I mean, I don't know if this is a legitimate news story. I pray that it is. The headline is shocking. Man with running stomach defecates inside bus. So here we've got a story about a guy with, I'm guessing, diarrhea. His running stomach. He pooped in a bus. I love that this made the news. Like, if this is in all their newspapers in Nigeria, this is a win for the world. But basically, this guy was on a bus, and he was calling to the bus driver that he had to stop because he was, you know, in trouble. And they did not listen to him. Pooped his pants. And apparently the smell was so foul that the other passengers then shouted for the driver to stop the vehicle, or they would take the law into their own hands. And apparently the lady who was sitting next to the guy who shit his pants yelled, "Now look, the young man has messed himself, making the entire vehicle inhabitable." I should say uninhabitable.
Inhabitable.
I mean, oh my gosh. That's my worst nightmare. I have a phobia of using toilets in public. Anybody who is my Facebook friend will know when I was going down east, I bought my Just a Drop and my Just a Spray, which is stuff that hides the smell if you have to poop in public. And let me tell you, when I had to, I made Marley come in the bathroom and run the hand dryer so nobody could even hear me. Because I'm like...
You're just not nervous, paranoid about it.
Yeah.
Embarrassed.
I'm a shy pooper. And like my husband Scott will just poop anywhere. And it's just like, what the heck? Why can't I be free and liberated like that?
I'm the same way. I don't give a shit. If I gotta poop, I'm gonna go poop. I don't fucking care.
No.
Yeah.
Hell, no, I care. It's natural. Everyone poops. Like, there's nothing to be embarrassed by.
Yeah,
I mean, unless you're shitting yourself in front of fucking people, then yeah, like you should be a little embarrassed because now you're a fucking infant. But
no, let me tell you a story why I was already a shy pooper to begin with, and then one time I had to poop at the C&E, and these girls in the next stall were laughing at me, and I was like ready to cry.
Yeah.
Ryan, tell the story about your white pants. Ryan.
Yeah, I don't think he can hear us.
Had a funny story about when he almost pooped his pants.
I got one. All right, so I'm in like grade 6, and a couple of my friends show up to school with X-Lax chocolates, and they go, "Arthur, eat these." Me being...
And you knew what they were?
I knew, but me being the idiot that I am, I was like, fine, cool, whatever. So I ate the fucking pack of X-Lax chocolate. I get home, and I'm telling Mom and Dad about it. So Dad, the asshole that he is, gets the fucking great idea. Hey, let's go on a family drive. So, we're fucking out and about for like the next hour and a half or whatever. And like, my stomach just starts fucking killing me. I'm like, all right, we gotta go.
Yeah.
I gotta go home. So Dad starts fucking meandering his ass back to the house. We get into the fucking house, and I make a beeline for the washroom, and that fucking dickhead pushes me away from the washroom and locks himself in there. Didn't have to use the washroom. He did it just because he knew I was going to shit myself.
He's such an asshole.
The second he fucking closed that door, I was like, all right, whatever, and just shit. Like, just shit everywhere.
That's so mean.
So mean. He's a dick. Like, he's such a fucking dick, but I mean, it was funny.
Not at the moment.
I guess. Ryan, talk about your white pants story.
Oh my God, you bitch. You really have to bring that up.
Yes.
We were watching a movie. I think it was Marley and Me, right? Yeah, it was. It was Marley and Me. No, it wasn't. It was Marley and Me. It was in the winter. I don't remember.
It doesn't matter, Ryan. He's at the movie theater.
Yeah, it was at the movie theaters. This was years ago, and I am lactose intolerant, but I don't follow the rules because I'm a woman. And I had so much cheese, and then we had like Alfredo pasta with even more cream on it. We got to the movie theater, and I was like, and I don't really wear underwear, and it would have been Poopcopalypse of 2011, 2012, because I thought it was so cool to wear these white shorts that I finally got my hands on. I was holding it in so bad. I had to put like tissue in between my butt just in case there was some leakage going on or something. It was
Did you like run and lock the public bathroom door?
I don't use public bathrooms, you know that. But
I thought you did at that time.
No. I held it until we got home.
Oh my God, that must have hurt.
I don't use public bathrooms. I've always had a fear. Part of it, I think, is it stems from my mom and my dad freaking me out when I was a kid, saying someone was going to kidnap me. And then the other part, I'm serious. And then the other part is, I don't like people smelling my
Yeah, that's how I am.
I don't like that. Like, that's so inappropriate. Why do you have to smell it?
Yeah.
That's why for me, like, to me, the most comfortable, even when I go to somebody else's house, I don't use their bathroom. It's like to pee, sure, but like to poo, no.
Yeah.
No. It's rude. Like, what are you gonna do? Leave a souvenir? For them to remember you.
I hate that too. Like, that's his thing. It's like, no. I remember going to my friend's house when I was little and pooping, and of course then the toilet broke. The old, cliche. And it was Tara, my friend Tara, and her mom came in, and she's like, "Whoa, that's a big poop for a little girl." And I'm like, that probably started my shame. Lily, you started my shame.
I really don't care. Like, I don't give two shits. Like, if I gotta poop, I'm gonna go poop. Like, I'm not embarrassed by it.
Like, I'm jealous of people like that.
It stinks, sure, but like, get over it. Like, I'm sure yours doesn't smell like fucking roses. Like, fuck off. You own a toilet. Let me use your fucking toilet.
It does.
Oh
because
my God. After Jordan's wedding, my nephew Jordan, they had their wedding, and afterward a bunch of people came back to my house. I had to poop so bad while I was waiting for the ride to come home. I had to poop so bad. People like, just go to the bathroom. I'm like, no. I could tell it was one of those, like, that was gonna be really bad, and I was like, no, I can't do that in this place. And
you can always tell if it's gonna be like, a normal poop, or like oh my God, this is like Poopcopalypse 2017 style.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of the bad ones. And so I made it home finally, and I was in pain, gut-wrenching pain, and I got home and I went to the bathroom, and it smelled so bad. And I sprayed freshener for like 10 minutes. And when I have the bathroom door closed, and we have like a little sliding door to that area that was closed, and that smell still came out into the living room, and it stayed around for like 2 hours. All my family sitting here, and but
you have to recommend
smell of death.
The product that you got to buy.
I got just a drop. Now I don't know if that could have controlled that. You have to be at school for one, Marlene. My daughter just came in.
I actually have a little trick. As soon as the poop hits the water, flush.
I do that if I have to go in public. That's what I do. I do the courtesy poop right away.
Like, if you have
or courtesy flush
15 times, I don't care. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Weather. I'm sorry. Global warming. I'm sorry. Nobody's gonna smell the demons that live deep inside of my body.
And then I was at the store the other day, and I saw coupons on the shelf. They had 2 coupons for a product called VI Poo.
Yeah.
So now I just have to find it, and that'll be like my just a drop where you spray it in and it.
It's supposed to mask the smell coming up from the water or some shit like that.
Yeah.
You can buy those cheap, like, the Gain. It's like the Gain little centers for, you know what I'm talking about? It's like little bees.
Oh, those little bees? Yeah.
Yeah. You could buy the ones from the dollar store and just carry it in your purse and just spread it all over the water before you poop. And it won't smell. Well,
before you spray it all over the
place, but at least it's not full poop.
Just seems like such a weird, like, phobia or problem to me. I don't know why. Like, it always has kind of struck me as kind of weird. Now again, like, shitting yourself in public, like, that's kind of fucked up. Yeah. But like, just the act of pooping, like, fuck out of here.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe I need to see a psychologist.
And like, you were saying, like, that was on, like, one of Nigeria's, like, newspapers or some shit.
Yeah.
How the fuck is that a story? Like, you're telling me, like, that's all that's going on in Nigeria?
Well, that's just one I came across. I didn't, research all of Nigerian news.
I know
other news.
That was just
I saw another headline at the side was a guy saying his second wife was sweeter, and he was married.
Oh, that's amazing.
His second wife is what?
Sweeter, like he likes his second wife better than his first wife. So.
Oh my God! See, that's the only time you get
that first wife's gonna kill that second wife. Like,
yeah.
Oh my God!
But it's funny that you brought that story up. Yesterday I was on, I think, Reddit, and I seen a video of a guy in, I want to say China or Japan. It had to be one of the two. It was a very packed subway or train, but, a very nice looking train. So it had to be one of those two countries. And Buddy just dropped trout and shit right on the floor.
No.
And nobody blinked an eye.
Oh,
Not a single passenger blinked a fucking eye. They just went on like business as usual.
Well, don't press the emergency stop at that point because you're stuck on the train with the shit.
Oh, but it was just popular so funny.
China, or super common, I should say, in China. Yeah.
Really?
That's super common in China.
Drop trout.
Add that to my list of never going to China.
For what reason?
Drop
trout and poop.
Yeah, I can't. Oh, yucky. I don't like to smell other people's poops either, so that's my other thing.
So at least yours is like, what do you call that? Justified. It's not like you're being selfish. You just want people to smell your poops, but you don't want to smell their poops.
The worst is my dad. He would sit in the bathroom and he'd smoke, and if he ever had to go in after, it would be that gross, poopy, smoky smell. Blah. Okay, I think we talked about shit enough.
Yes, enough of shit.
Unless there's more shit stories somebody wants to share. I mean, I do have more, but I'm not sharing them because they're even more horrible.
Yeah, I've proved myself a couple more times, but I don't think they need to hear about
for another episode.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll talk about the It movie. We've already mentioned that Arthur and I are really waiting for this
trailer
movie.
was scary.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a scary book. But apparently now, I don't know why it's taking this movie to make this happen, but clowns around the world, and I guess around America especially, are losing business. Schools, libraries, birthday parties, they're canceling.
Because you're fucking creepy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Accept it. Your job title is creepy.
Well, I mean, there is something very scary about clowns because you can't see what their faces are masking, right?
Yes.
The makeup.
The fucking thick white makeup, and then if you're old, the wrinkly, oh my God, it just looks so creepy. Oh my God, never mind. Let me stop, because I'm going to, offend somebody.
I had when I was getting married, I wanted a magician Scott and I wanted a magician at our wedding. And so I contacted a clown. And I said to him, I'm like, when you come, you cannot be in clown makeup at all. Because I was afraid. And I remember calling him to leave a message. And I call him up, but I can't remember what his name was. Say it was Bozo or something, right? And he's like, you've reached Bozo, the clown. And he went on and on. And he said all this stuff. And then he kept doing that weird laugh. I was nervous, laughing so hard. I had to hang up the phone because I could not get the words out to make a message. My sister Stephanie had to call up and leave the message for me because I was just because I could not get it out. And so when I had to drive in a car with him alone when we went to look at the hall where we were having the reception, and I'm like, oh my God, please do not be in your clown outfit when I see you.
Did he come?
Yeah, but he wasn't in clown. He came to the house. Do you remember him doing the magic show for you guys, Arthur?
No, not really.
Yeah, he came right into our house and he did a little magic show for the kids. The kids were there, and yeah, it was good. He was at the wedding. He did some magic. A little bit different.
No, not for me.
Do you know where your fear of clowns stems from? Can you pinpoint the moment?
No, because I don't think it's necessarily 100% a moment to pinpoint.
Oh, I 100% can.
When did it start for you?
The movie Poltergeist with that creepy clown doll that almost kills the little boy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, I never cared. I was never afraid of clowns. I remember hugging them when I was little and shit. How fucking messed up is that? My mom let me hug clowns.
Especially as you guys growing up in that Gacy era and shit like that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I got no beef with clowns. It's weird. That was one of the things about the original It. Everyone always said, oh, it's so creepy. Pennywise is so creepy. I'm like, there's just a funny fucking clown. What are you scared of? And that turned into a weird, cockroach fucking praying mantis fucking thing. It was, I don't know, it wasn't scary at all. I don't know.
I didn't find that version of It very scary, although I thought Tim Curry was amazing. Creepy.
He was great. Creepy as hell, yeah.
But I didn't find it really scary. I think this one will be more scary.
Yeah, just look at the fucking previews. Just look at the facial expressions on that clown. It's definitely more freaky than it is creepy. You know what I mean? But
yeah, and I don't know if I said this last time, but he literally terrified the kids on set when he came out in costume.
That's awesome.
They were crying, and their parents had to calm them down.
Would you have been scared if that was you?
As an actor child? Yes. I don't know. I wasn't afraid of clowns at that age. It wasn't until I was probably about 12. When did Poltergeist come out?
It was later for you. You were a late bloomer.
Whenever Poltergeist came out, if that was 81, 82, 83, around that age, maybe 10 or 11. But that actor, Bill Skarsgård, he is in Hemlock Grove, and he's fantastic.
Yeah.
To, what's his name? Eric Northman, Alexander Skarsgård.
Yeah.
Alexander Skarsgård, yeah.
And Floki from Vikings.
Yeah.
That's also a brother. The Skarsgårds are good actors.
Yeah, they are. And they're good looking.
Yeah, they are.
And they're my husbands.
You can't have them all.
You can, Jacqueline. Even the father.
Stellan. Okay, well, I'm out. You guys now need to come up with some things. I've talked all the things that I was interested in today.
Like there's nothing really going on.
There's not much really going on in the world.
The only like thing I'm dealing with is this fucking bullshit Facebook fucking ban nonsense, and like that's really not even worth talking because fuck it.
This guy gets banned from Facebook at least once a month, but this is a bad one. This is a 30-day ban.
Yeah, for moobs, for fucking moobs, like male breasts. Yeah. Fuck out of here, goddamn Zuckerberg. Like I feel like going down to San Fran and punch him in his mouth. Like get your fucking shit together, bro.
That'd get you in trouble. Oh, Ryan, you wanted to tell the story, your embarrassing story. With your zipper?
Can you hear us?
Every time I want to talk to Ryan, this guy disappears.
Yeah.
What the hell, Ryan? Okay, well.
A large ice.
He's ordering a coffee.
He's getting coffee. That's amazing.
This guy's ordering coffee during our show.
P.S. Dunkin' Donuts sucks.
We're going to have to, what's the word? Dock his pay. Yeah.
Oh, he muted it.
Oh, finally.
Doesn't want
thought I was on mute the whole time. Give me a second. I'm still working.
You crazy bitch.
Yeah. Hold on.
God, you really honestly never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, but there's really been nothing going on, like in entertainment, anything like that. Like
nothing that I really care to talk about. No. I mean, the freaking Taylor Swift, go away, please.
Yeah, I'm just so sick of celebrities, period. Like, I'm tired of them thinking their fucking opinions matter. Like, fuck off. Like, no one cares. I mean, teenage girls care, but...
BuzzFeed's been going crazy with freaking how much they love Taylor Swift and all the articles they've been posting. So annoying. Yeah. I'm just looking at BuzzFeed now to see if there's literally anything. But, like, it's been just such a slow news day.
Yeah. Harvey's pretty much taken up everything, right? Like, it's
it has. I mean,
anyone can talk about.
That's really all people are talking about. And, of course, the North Korea firing the
over Japan. And Japan didn't do anything about it. So their threats kind of did nothing.
I know. They just told the people to run and hide.
Yeah. And I was reading an argument on Reddit about it where guys are like, well, why doesn't Japan do anything? And they don't understand that, like, they're not allowed to have an army that leaves the country. They're allowed to have one that, you know, can defend their land, but, you know, because of all the sanctions the U.S. put on them after World War II, they can't do anything about it.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's...
As I said before, who the fuck is America? I guess because they beat the shit out of them. They got
well, and that was it, right? And I mean, let's face it, at that point in time, like, if they didn't, the Japanese would have never stopped. Like, I remember hearing a story, and I don't know if it's just a story or if it was true, but there was a Japanese soldier who was still fighting the war like 15, 20 years after the war had ended because he didn't know.
He was on one of those little remote islands where you didn't get any news.
He had no idea that the war was over, and he was still ready to go 20 fucking years after the fact, you know? Like, that's...
Yeah. Well, surrender is not in their...
No, it wasn't.
Their culture. Yeah.
Well, you turn two cities into a sheet of glass, and, you know, you're going to surrender pretty damn quickly.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a story to talk about.
Yes, this is the... Okay, go ahead.
I feel very old.
You're finally back. Did you get your coffee?
I did. I don't know what you heard, but it was, you know, the voiceover.
It's a commercial for advertisers.
Yes, advertisers, yes. Iced coffee. Buy it. I feel very old. And let me say why. So I tried to watch the VMAs.
Oh,
and I recognized like 2 or 3 people. I'm not going to talk about you-know-who, because I hate that bitch. And more advertising. And I read this article on BuzzFeed saying that basically a lot of people felt old because they couldn't recognize all of these people. And it's just to me like, I was like, who are those boys? Like, was that like Simon Cowell's band or whatever? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I didn't recognize any of them. I
have a theory. I have a theory because I was reading some comments from young people who didn't know where they were either. I think it was just there was a lot of nobodies at the VMAs because nobody cares about them anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true. Probably.
I mean,
because I was looking at the Who Wore What's, right? With Justin, my co-host, and a couple of friends, and I was just like, I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. And there was a picture of some girl. I can't remember her name. We all thought it was Fergie. And it was some other girl who looked exactly like Fergie, which is kind of unfortunate. I don't know.
And then my embarrassing...
Oh,
sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's it.
And then my
I didn't know any of them.
Story of... so I don't wear underwear, obviously, people. And I was on the bus with these really, really super tight pants. And I did not know that my fly was open the whole day until I went to the bathroom and I didn't have to unzip. And I'm sure people got a little peek of my pie.
No. Ryan, we know you're the world's biggest whore, but were you really advertising that way? Like, come on.
Well, not on purpose. I didn't know that I was doing it. You know what I mean? And it was just like,
no.
It's the most embarrassing feeling in the world because I felt like, oh my God, my pie is being peeked at by everybody. You know what I mean? And that's probably why those group of kids were fucking staring at me and laughing because my pie was, and I was like, what the fuck? Is there something on my face? Is there maybe something going on with me? No, it's just your cooch is out, Ryan.
You're lucky you didn't end up on a list. You are so lucky you didn't end up on a fucking list, man. Yeah.
Yeah. You imagine, Ryan?
Because I didn't know. Well, no, I mean, she was in there, but still, like, it's so embarrassing. Like, has that ever happened to you guys where you're like, maybe your tit was just hanging out or your balls were just out or something like that? Because
I was swimming with the kids and they all screamed. My two kids screamed, "Ew, your boob!" I'm like, "Can you say it quietly next time?
Yeah.
The whole world doesn't know my boob fell out."
Where was this?
At West Hill High School pool, right across the street. So yeah, that happened to me. I see at work all the time men with their zippers undone, and I mean, if it was somebody I knew, I would tell them. But I'm not telling strange men that their zippers undone.
Because it's like
not strange men. Yeah.
I would.
I'll tell a woman. I would tell a woman. I would never tell a man. Just because, especially kind of the men at my work, are kind of
creepos.
A lot of them are. A lot of them are creepos. Yeah. I don't want to look at their.
So maybe they're doing it on purpose. Maybe they want you to take a look.
They want you to look at their, their.
I'm not saying that. I'm going to assume it was all accidental. But although I do have a thing, I don't know if you guys do this. I look at people's crotches a lot, like on TV or in public.
Yes.
Or at least because I'm a weirdo. But I'm like, I don't know. I have to look.
I want to know if you have a bulge, and if it's big, and if I could be with you for the rest of my life. That's the goal.
I'm a weirdo. I know. I'm a weirdo. Like, I was looking at a picture from the VMAs, and Farrah Abraham was wearing this white pantsuit getup. And I saw a little black spot on her crotch region. And so I'm scrolling my computer to make sure it's not something on my screen. And I'm like, guys, look, do you see that black spot too? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, see, that's why you shouldn't wear white. She got some nasty black spot on her vagina, and it looks nasty.
That chick is a fucking trash fire.
Oh, yeah, she is.
Even on the bus, like when guys come in, you don't have to be attractive. I don't want people to feel special. Oh, it's because I'm cute. No, I do it to everybody. I'm like,
I look at everybody's, and I look at their butts too. Yeah, I don't. I'm not biased.
Women, because I hate wearing. I hate seeing panty lines.
Oh,
the worst thing in the world. And so when I see a girl with panty lines, I'm like, what is wrong with you? Like, just take off your underwear. Yeah.
Well, maybe she's on her period and she needs her period panties.
Then put a freaking what do you call that? Put freaking tampons in your cooch.
What if it's a heavy flow day and you need more than one tampon? You need your panty liner too.
To get a wide set tampon, then it's not my
fault. They
don't
have a wide set tampon.
Like, what the fuck, man?
A heavy flow does not equal a wide vagina, by the way. It just means more blood's coming out, Ryan.
Well, I'm just saying, not enough for the excuses.
Jesus Christ. Oh, that fucking kills me.
This is Ryan. Ryan and his knowledge of woman issues.
Yeah.
Because I have woman issues too. It comes to me 3 times a month. I have no excuses. Gosh. I still don't wear underwear. You know what I mean?
Well, you see those women that protest and they just run with their, doing marathons with blood running down their legs and stuff.
That's a little much.
Yeah, I'm not saying you have to be embarrassed to have your period, but don't put your blood or your bodily fluids anywhere. I don't care, man, woman, whatever. Keep your bodily fluids in your home or in the toilet if you're peeing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't make your blood. That's a contaminant. You could have HIV or hepatitis or some shit.
The worst is when, I have to say this, I've been to women's bathrooms before, like when I really needed to pee. Women's bathrooms are the most disgusting place on earth.
Yep.
You guys are like...
Yeah, they are.
They're disgusting.
They are.
They're disgusting people. Disgusting people.
They are. I remember in high school seeing somebody just throwing a dirty tampon on the floor in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
I was like so grossed out. Yeah, they don't flush the toilet half the time.
No, I was doing like janitorial work for a Burger King. So, that included me cleaning the bathrooms. Men's bathrooms, like, okay, you might have seen some piss on the floor. Maybe some guy had some diarrhea and the toilet was a little dirty.
Exactly.
Nothing too bad. Fucking women are gross. The amount of times I had to pick shit up off the fucking floor because they're too fucking disgusted to sit on the seat, or again, like fucking just used fucking feminine hygiene products left on the floor.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say.
So gross.
Disgusting.
Okay, you know what? If you have to hover, right? I get that because I don't sit when I'm peeing. If I have to poop, I'll sit. But if you have to hover, you should still be able to hit the fucking toilet. How bad is your aim?
Right.
That's crazy.
It was so gross.
They're gross.
So gross.
No, women are absolutely no offense. Women are
in public bathrooms, 100%. I will agree with you. I've been in a couple men's bathrooms, and they weren't that bad for the most part. Women's bathrooms are disgusting. That's why I like to use the family washrooms if possible, because
not all of them have them though. Like at rest areas, absolutely, but not everywhere.
Yeah, I have to say the rest areas that we stopped in America, they were like they were called rest stops. Yeah. They were nice and clean. I saw the lady in there wiping down. She was on her knees wiping down all around this, even just the base of the sinks and everything. She was doing a good job cleaning in there.
Now, was she a Conchita or was she a Lara?
No, she was a white lady.
Wow, look at her.
Yeah, but then while we were eating our pizza and it was closing down, I saw the Latino people coming in to do the, I guess, more cleaning. I don't know. She kept that bathroom clean. I don't know what they were cleaning.
I always find the bathrooms at the rest areas, the bathrooms are cleaner than the actual eating area. People are pigs when it comes to those places.
People are disgusting.
Oh, yeah.
They will just leave their food.
Clear your fucking trays. Yes. Yeah, I can't stand people that don't clear their trays in a place you're supposed to clear your tray. And like when you go to McDonald's at the self-serve pop machine, these fucking animals that spill pop everywhere. Come on. Every once in a while you might spill a pop. But like, that's ridiculous. Constantly. Fucking pigs.
Cause I will say this though, in certain countries, like in the Philippines, it's not self-serve. Like you don't actually have to clear out the trays or employees who actually do that for you. But here, people, I feel like you need to teach your kids at a young age how to do that. Like not to sound like an angry old lady, but teach your kids, because it's like, why are you just gonna, like, I understand you're in a rush, but you can't take 5 seconds to pick up your crap and put it in the garbage.
No, you're right, because then they get to be 12, 13, 14, they're allowed to go out in public by themselves, and they don't know how to behave. And this is the thing, you see a lot of kids, and I love to sit in McDonald's on my lunch break at work and watch the people stealing pop, because they'll come in with like their 4 water bottles from home, thermoses, and they're over there stealing the pop. And I'm just like, how brazen. I wouldn't even steal one little sip of pop that I didn't pay for. I don't know how people are so brazen. I'm like a guilty person. Like I feel guilty even though I haven't even done anything.
Again, I think it's just because people feel so entitled to it. And then sometimes though, you kind of have to I try to understand them, because in my head it's like, maybe they're, college kids who don't have much money, and they just kind of maybe wanted a free drink, something caffeinated to give them some energy or something. But at the same time, it's like, that's somebody's job on the line. Somebody could lose a job because they're losing profit. Although those things cost like 33 fucking cents, guys. And they charge. I
watched the manager at that McDonald's yell at this lady. She was in there with like 4 or 5 bottles and she was filling up. And the manager's like, I already told you, get out of here. You get out and stay out. And he's like, fuck you, and threw pop at her.
Jesus Christ.
Where was this, in America?
No, this was in Scarborough.
Oh, okay.
Which is not that surprising.
No, not at all. I kind of feel like if you can't afford it, you don't deserve it. So fuck off.
Yes.
Well, I've seen people come in with food from other restaurants and then steal the pop. So I saw somebody carrying a pizza from Pizza Hut, which is not a cheap pizza.
No.
And then they're
free
stealing pop.
Yeah. Fuck that shit.
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
I watched yesterday. I saw this little girl, and she was walking because here they give you this little clear glass for water if you want water. And I saw her walking with it, and she went up to the pop machines, and she saw me just staring at her, right? The Wi-Fi wasn't working in McDonald's yesterday, so I was just staring at her because I had nothing to do. And then she walked away, and then I saw her coming back later, and I still stared. I like just intimidated this little girl. She didn't not steal pop while I was
hold on. Intervention. What were you doing at McDonald's, Jacqueline?
That's why I go to McDonald's for my lunch break. Me and Logan go there on our lunch break.
No, but what else do you do at McDonald's, Jacqueline, that you need to admit to the public now?
I use the free Wi-Fi?
No. What do you get from them?
Oh, water?
No, the cup, Jacqueline, the cup. Oh. The damn cup and the damn bendy straws.
Well, they don't have bendy straws there. When I come home, I put a bendy straw in it. I'll get the large or the regular size pop, depending on if it's summer drink sales. Yeah. And I fill it with ice, and then I get water because I don't drink pop. And I'm thirsty. And then when I come home, I like to drink my water with a bendy straw.
No, but you take the cup with you. And and you keep it for a couple of days.
Well, I used to keep it for a few days until the next time I went. But now I don't anymore because I bought my big 8-glass holding water bottle.
Okay, good. Jacqueline.
Glasses of water. So that's what I use. But I mean, I like my McDonald's cup is still on my table from last night. There's still a little bit of water left.
You need to let it go. And these damn bendy straws. My God.
I love bendy straws. Shut up. Don't judge me.
This is an
Although I might have to stop using straws because I saw that it's like a real problem in the ocean.
This is a real problem, guys. Please donate $1 to the Save Jacqueline Fund because this is intense. I left her for a couple of years and I came back and she's now obsessed with bendy straws.
This is a legitimate charity for sure. So
yes, it is.
You know,
you can feel safe with your money.
And get Ryan a Birkin fund. We're currently at about 21 cents right
now. Okay, so I know you guys are kind of like me, and you like people's drama, I guess. I know you don't like to be in the drama, but so I have a Facebook friend who's always posting about this lady in Oshawa who's like, she sounds like the world's biggest scammer. She's always making these GoFundMe pages to help her. One time she said that her boyfriend abused her and she needed first and last month's rent, but then she was like back with him the next time. And then another time she was saying her house burnt down and she needed money. And so my friend is always talking about how she's a scammer. So her latest one was her landlord would not accept her money for rent. And so she had 3 months worth of rent in her apartment trying to give it to him, and she was taking him to court. And then somebody stole all the rent money. So she needed money. I'm just like, this is the worst freaking lie in the world. But like, this is the kind of stuff I love looking. Like, there's certain people on my Facebook page that are absolutely kooky, but I keep them just because I know that they'll put all their drama on Facebook and I'll be able to read it.
Yep. Nobody wants to see a train wreck, but you're never going to look away.
Yes.
No, and I admit it, I love looking at that shit.
Yeah.
So like I have quite a few people that I just like, I'll key their name in just to see what's going on their page.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
But like Arthur said, it's hard to look away. Like, I do have a Facebook friend. I'm not going to mention her name because she does listen, and it is a her. I'm just going to point that out. I know who you are, and you know who I am. Who posts everything that goes on in her life. And I had to block her from popping up on my feed because she put something that was just TMI at one point. And I was like, oh,
jeez.
Why would you talk about I'm not going to talk about it because it's too specific, but in my head, I'm like, there are certain things. Maybe it's because we've had very private discussions about this. I'm a very private person. So to me, it's like, I don't want people to know if I'm even having a bad day. You know, I'll tell my close friends, but I'm not going to tell every Tom, Dick, and Harry about it because it's not for public consumption. When you open yourself up for that kind of criticism, you allow people to then have an opinion on your life.
Yeah, you're right. I very rarely put something like that online either.
Like, I'll maybe make a post about how
it would have to be extremely bad to piss me off like that.
Exactly. Because it's like, to me, it's not meant for public consumption. You know what I mean? Like, whatever it is that you're going through, and maybe this is a generational thing, and I'm young enough to be a part of that whole thing. For me, it's like, I'm not entitled to have sympathy from others or whatever it is to be like, you have to help me because I'm having this kind of issue, or, you know, whatever the case is, right? It's not for me. It's not for me to like put out there, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it's I don't know, maybe it's my culture because I'm, Asian. It's weird. I don't talk about stuff like that. Like, I don't talk about a
Well,
breakup.
my family growing up, my parents were always like, don't talk about it, don't tell people, don't talk. That's how I kind of raised my kids too. Like, in all honesty, I'm like, don't go to school and say this, don't go to school and say that, don't tell your grandma this, don't tell. So my kids are being raised that way as well. And I'm like that. Like, you'll see me on Facebook. Very rarely do I put something, and it'd be more likely complaining about work, or a couple times I've complained about the kids being assholes, that sort of thing. But not...
That's normal.
You won't see me, like, if I've had a fight with my husband, put that on there. Or if I'm having a fight with my sisters, I won't be like, these dumb bitches should all die. Like, I would never put that.
Exactly.
It's cheap. It's cheap. I don't know.
I love that.
It shows that you don't value your fucking self. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I hate it. And I've hid, a few people that are really close to me because of that fucking bullshit. So I can't handle it. I can't stand seeing your bullshit, your childish fucking drama. Like, you're an adult.
Yeah.
But at the same point in time, I can't look away. And I like to stick my nose in it.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
It's not like we're gonna, it's not like we're gonna make, like, I'm not gonna make a comment about it. Like, I'm not gonna post a comment or whatever it is. I'm not just talking about Facebook, right?
Yeah.
But I might make like a little indirect joke here and there. But never am I gonna publicly shame you for your crap, because I'd love to be treated that way as well. So for me, it's like, I'm not gonna do to you what I don't want done to me. So it's like, in my head, I always say, at least I'm fortunate enough to know how to keep things quiet. You guys are very aware. I went through something very deep not too long ago, and still I'm going through it, but no one knows. You know what I mean?
No, you've never posted on Facebook about it.
Because it's not their business. I was actually recently, I was asked a question by a friend. I'm not going to name him. Why haven't you changed the most obvious thing on, my profile?
Yeah.
And he said, because it would attract a lot of attention that I don't want right now.
Yeah.
Maybe when everything dies down, sure. But right now, it's kind of like in the heat of the moment. And so for me, it's like, I'd rather not. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather just not make it super public right now.
Yeah, because the minute you change that, people will be like, what happened? Why? What's going on? And then...
But how many people do that for that reason? They want people up their ass going, oh my God, are you okay? What's wrong?
Yeah.
It's
a lot.
I won't feed into that, but if I see someone having like some stupid Facebook fight, I'll stick my nose in and just start fucking making jokes and running my mouth about fucking nonsense.
Well, if it's family, like if I see my family doing shit like that, I'll be like, don't put that on social media. Like, don't call your mom a bitch on social media. Don't call your cousin a jerk, or whatever the family issue is. I've told my kids I don't want them to do it either. If you have a problem, text them, put in a private message, and be like, you're a bitch, I hate your guts. That's fine. Everybody's allowed to call you a name if they want to, but
fuck yeah.
Because that happened to a cousin.
Don't put your family business. Yeah.
Because that happened to me and my cousin, and he mentioned a name. I was very indirect about mine. You know what I mean? And that's when then when he messaged me on a comment asking, are you talking about me? I was like, yep, because now you mentioned my name, so I'm going to say yes. Now we're going to make it public because you decided to make it super public. But from there, I really learned my lesson. And at the end of the day, family's family, and you can't choose them. You just have to learn how to really love them.
And you can't take a lot of things personal on social media. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was annoyed by something and I called them out. But beyond that, I still love the people. I would never cut them out of my life. What are you going to do, right?
I would.
Exactly.
I flat out would, and I've been saying this for a while now. Just because they're family doesn't mean I owe you anything.
Yeah.
Well, this is true. You don't owe people anything.
And if you're a shitty human being, you're a shitty human being, regardless if we're related or not. I don't need you in my fucking life.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. But at that same point in time, I'm a real cynic, right? So...
Yeah.
And an asshole to boot.
You know what, though? I will say this about you, Arthur. You're not that much of an a-hole. Honest to God.
I'm nice. Like, I'm nice when we do this. I'm a real dick.
But you know what? I'd rather have people who are honest to my face than... this is a little direct, but than have people who are like, feed you the whole... oh, but you know what I'm saying, blah, 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 and that person was blah, blah, blah to you, and blah, 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 and it's like, really?
Yeah.
I don't like people like that, because then you feed that person a false sense of gratification almost.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So that I don't do. Like even with family, I do it to my cousins. It's like, well, you decided to do whatever it is that you did, and you're kind of you kind of called it on yourself to have that shame or whatever that you have to carry with you now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'd rather have someone tell me that than have someone tell me, oh, but Ryan, blah, blah, blah. Unless it's really called for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just find it cheap. I find it real cheap, and it's almost like you don't value yourself when you put your bullshit on social media. It also shows, at least to me, like an ineptitude of being able to handle your fucking problems.
Yeah.
Most people that post every little bit of drama, like this woman you're talking about here in Oshawa, which isn't a fucking new thing here. Like, I live in that shithole, and it's fucking par for the course here. But it just shows that you've never learned how to deal with your fucking problems. You're not an adjusted adult. You are still a fucking child searching for any kind of validation you can.
Yeah.
And I don't know. To me, that's just, it's low. And it shows, again, a huge ineptitude with dealing with what life is.
Well, and like, how do you want to say it? Is it because you are suffering from mommy and daddy issues that you're looking for any kind of attention,
right?
Even the negative attention,
right?
It's
stupid. It's lame. The fuck over yourself. You're not that important.
You're not a bitter knitter, so.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is the end of our show. I guess that's where we'll wrap it up. Get over yourself.
Get the fuck over yourself.
We'll say goodbye. We'll be back on Monday as usual at 9 a.m. Listen to our Sunday show with Justin and myself. We're definitely talking the Game of Thrones finale. What an epic episode that was. I can't wait. It better not be a year and a half for the next shit.
2019. All signs are pointing to 2019.
Has that been confirmed?
All signs are pointing to 2019. Fucking global warming.
Can't deal with this shit, man. Just make some fake snow in the fucking computer.
Fuck.
But yeah, so if you have opinions or thoughts about the thing, let us know, and we'll definitely mention them in the live broadcast on Sunday at 12 o'clock. So have a good week, and we'll see you next time.
Take care.
Bye. And Ryan says bye.